unification of Papua New Guinea itself in partnership with New Zealand and the United States and Japan. When we sit around the Quad table with India and Japan and the United States, these are the issues we talk about in supporting the Pacific as well as in Southeast Asia. So I think these most recent developments and the uncertainty and instability in the Solomons just highlights once again why it has been so important that we leaned in as heavily as we've had. No government has ever invested as heavily and consistently and recognised our responsibilities in the Pacific more than our government.
Will there be any response from Australia to this draft security pact with China?
Well, we will see how this progresses. I mean, one of the ways you deal with your Pacific family is you deal with it as family. You talk about these issues as family. I mean, one of the first places I went after the re-election back in 2019 is Jenny and I went to the Solomon Islands. That's the first place we went, to the Solomon Islands. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to send a very clear message about where Australia saw its first priorities beyond our own shores, and that was to stand by our family in the Pacific and to assure them of our continuing support. So when Fiji needed vaccines, who did they call? Australia. When they were called by another country seeking to have influence in the region, they said, we're good, Australia's got us covered.
So have you contacted your representatives in the Solomon Islands directly, or are you leaving it up to diplomatic channels at the moment?
Minister Scott Morrison and I have had many conversations over the years.
But is it in the last 24 hours?
Not in the last 24 hours, and there's dialogue that's taking place there. But we deal with these issues as family, and we work them through. As you know, we have Australian Federal Police in Solomon Islands right now, guaranteeing the peace and security of the Solomon Islands right now. And the reason we're there is because Manasseh called me and asked me and said, Scott, can you please send us support to ensure we can stabilise the situation here in the Solomon Islands. I've visited their constabulary. I've thanked them for the tremendous work that they've done in Honiara, and it is a very good partnership.
Given that the Australian ambassador met with the Solomons here just before this deal was announced, was this further blindsided by this deal?
No.
And are you worried that the navy base there would give China capacity to block shipping routes from Asia to the Pacific?
One of the many reasons we're so active in the region is that so we can ensure a free and open Pacific. Same reason we are so active in the Indo-Pacific region more broadly, up through South Asia, the Indian Ocean, up through the South China Sea and the North China Sea, is to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. Now, we share with our Pacific family values. We share culture, the principles of democracy, freedom, and these are things that are very important to the Pacific Island peoples. And that's why they can trust and know that we are their family partner.